Hey everybody, this is DayTraderRockStar, and this is a market radar for the second week of August. Basically, we're looking at Tuesday, August 11th, maybe going into Wednesday. What a big day today. Market here, nice rally right out of the gate. A lot of it sparked by Berkshire Hathaway's acquisition of Precision Cast Parts. After final tally, the S&P was up 29 points, Dow was up 239, and NASDAQ up 58. Leaving us a huge candle, and this candle comes after Friday's reversal candle. We have a nice little underlying trend line. We're inside of a 1-2-3 pattern that we discuss all the time on the show. And when we hold that 1-2-3 pattern, we're holding the 200 period moving average. You saw another, again, nice hammer here, nice reversal candle, and then we got that follow through. And this follow through here basically bringing us back up through that trend line. We didn't get a full rotation on the daily, but we got very close to getting oversold. This might actually hold. We don't have to get a full rotation. We could actually end up looking similar to back what happened here. We actually came down, kind of held that rising trend line and just kind of grinded back up. And that's been the market basically on the S&P over the last, 8 months, 7 to 8 months. It's been choppy at best. I mean, we have this slow trending market higher. We're holding the 200 period moving average. But we had our shares of down days, up days, down days, up days. It's really a game of musical chairs here in the markets. And overall, it looks okay, especially with the daily. But the 60-minute time frame, just want to talk about it one more time. We've been using that a lot on our short-term areas. You can see that short-term 60-minute time frame got overbought here. We had some caution coming to the market. We pulled back, we got oversold. We pushed back up. Here we're embedded, but we knew even after we're embedded for a while, that we are eventually going to get that, rotation. So we don't mind having an embedded 60-minute. It's just a matter of having the other indicators line up with us. So we had that kind of an underlying trend line, kind of broke down through it, popped back up, and then off to the races. Like I said, there's always news out there that kind of helps the market along. This is after a jobs report last week, and again, some of the acquisition news. And then there's big news again. If you're listening to this on Friday, you might not have heard this yet, but big news out on Google after hours. Google pretty much forming a holding company, and it was, right now you're going to hear a lot about it tomorrow. I mean, I'm not going to go into it too much. I could bring you some of the headlines here. Google co-founder Larry Page and Sergey Brin announced an entirely new corporation structure for the Silicon Valley internet giant late Monday with plans for a new umbrella company dubbed Alphabet Incorporation. Alphabet. Page will serve as the CEO for the company as he does for Google now, and Brin would take the role of president. And basically, this is going to, encompass Google, Google L, and all the major companies they have. The largest part will still be Google, the search engine company that has touched many parts of the web users' lives worldwide. Again, after hour move here, I could see Google up about $45 after hours. So that might have a nice little effect on some of the tech stocks tomorrow, and the NASDAQ should get a nice little bounce off of this. So again, you're going to hear a lot more on this tomorrow. Stock split and created class of Google shares. Now all these shares inside this parent company, Alphabet. Alphabet will initially be a direct wholly subsidiary of Google. The company explained, pursuant to the Alphabet merger, a newly formed entity merger sub, a direct wholly owned subsidiary of the Alphabet and an indirect wholly owned subsidiary of Google will merge with and into Google. But there's, again, however you want to read into this, it is the positive, seems to be a very positive reaction on the stock. And we'll watch that reaction tomorrow. So this is where we left off, kind of overbought on the 60 and kind of flatlining, meaning we could definitely go higher. 60-minute time frame has been getting embedded frequently. Embedded up here means you're hanging up into a kind of an extreme level for 3 price periods. And then that usually foreshadows further strength in the market or weakness, depending on if you're embedded to the downside or embedded to the upside. In this case, you could actually see that we're starting to embed to the upside. But the overall pattern, the trend line, everything looking pretty stable here. we concentrate on, identifying the higher probability zones based off the pivots, based off some of the, combinations of indicators, some of the divergences. And right now, just even though we are overbought, one of the things we watch is the strength underlying this. And, downward channels, could break higher and continue to move higher. So right now, the 60-minute time frame does look pretty strong here. The daily does look pretty good with a crossover and possible rotation back up. So we're looking at the market here for a follow-through day tomorrow, especially in light of some of the recent news coming out with Google. This is the 5-minute chart. We actually rotated back down. We held on to great strength today. We popped out of the gate, and then we kind of just grinded, held that 20-period moving average. We had some great setups on the on the futures. We're going to go back on the futures chart right here. Let me see if I can give you a better example. We had, we'll start off this morning, and when I broadcast the markets, I kind of give you a play-by-play of what's breaking down, and we mark off the high probability zones, the flags, the directional indications of what we look for here. We had a couple good flag setups, one here and one here. We didn't have any really big rotations until about 245, and that 245 setup gave us a nice little pop there. And you can see we popped back up, we came back down off of that. These are all short-term based on 1 minute time frame, the 1 minute time frame, so that's fine. Then we actually had a triple threat again right here with a big reversal candle, and that one really led to a pop into the close. And then, as you can see, we just opened up here, and we're chopping around on the ES. 2100. So that is where we are leaving off, going into tomorrow. The interesting news out there. We could still get some more news out tomorrow that's going to push this market around. A couple new setups I put on the HPS watch list. The HPS watch list goes out to members of Day Trading Radio, so definitely check it out at daytradingradio.com. But there is a big list for this week, and a lot of these are already moving out. And I always kind of throw a free one out there just to kind of give you a feel what we're looking for and how we set up our alerts. So let me show you that for a second. All right, here we go. Once again, Bed Bath & Beyond. Love this setup here. It hasn't hit its buy trigger yet. We have two type of alerts when you look at an HPS. So we have a buy zone and a buy trigger. Buy zones are typically like this, where you push back into a HPS zone and you buy into that move, and then the profit zone gets hit and whatever. In this case, you have this buy trigger, which represents buying into that strength. So we're actually looking for this line to be triggered to the upside. But I already started a position down off this lower trend line. The stop is not really in effect yet until that buy trigger gets hit, and the profit zone the same thing. But my plan is to accumulate it down here, add to it, or double down as we take the trigger out at 65.85 and then sell it into the profit zone. I think it's a great trade going into this week and going into next week, but I think it's going to move pretty fast once, we already took out Friday's highs, we took out Thursday's highs, and we pulled back a little, but a great setup overall. I want to show you this setup on the other chart also. Let me go over here. Let me bring up Bed Bath & Beyond, because when I'm discussing it on the radio, it's easier for me to just kind of explain the setup here. And what we have here is this big reversal candle. You see the big hammer? But this is the key here. This is what we call a coil stochastic channel setup. We have the underlying channel of the coil, even with that reversal candle. This trend line here and this downward trend line, even though it's a ways away from that, we're looking for this to pop through and make a full rotation up, and this to actually get through that trend line, and also to push higher. So we have two good setup. It's multiple HPS indicators lining up. We have that trend line, we have reversal candle, we have a coil stochastic channel breakout set up with a reversal candle. Everything looks pretty good here. Very nice. So I want to give you that one as a setup for this week. A lot of the members here at Day Trading Radio are in this, and we'll be trading and focusing on that tomorrow and the rest of the day and rest of the week. So that's on that. So going back here one more time, the SPX, we're looking for a follow-through day. We have a nice turn up on the daily. We have momentum. We have that Google news. We have probably other news. We have the embedded stochastics. Everything looking good for tomorrow. And we'll see you in the markets then. Again, I'm broadcasting live each and every day. Even if you're in your cubicle at work, you could tune in. Just go to www.daytradingradio.com. You can listen on your phones. You can listen on iTunes Radio. And you can listen on a lot of different levels. All right, have a great evening, and I'll talk to you in the tomorrow in the markets.